So, it turns out there's actually quite a lot to learn about being a god. The first of which is basically that if you do indeed want to become all powerful and learn how to manipulate the biomes of the world and fill it with a wide variety of animals, and plants, and also minerals, which I really appreciate that we've got so many fun things to discover, well, you need to help your people prosper. And it turns out to do that, you need prosperity. Imagine! But I have extremely good news, my friends, because it turns out that there are other gods in this pantheon. By which I mean that my beloved husband, best friend, love of my life, Chips, actually, I would say surprised the socks off of me, but I have not been wearing socks because it's summer where I live and it's extremely hot. He completely surprised me by becoming a god himself in Reus and ending up basically making it so that I was meandering in, carrying one of our adorable guinea pigs to come see him, and going, "Oh, guinea dad, look at how your cute little Daisy is getting so big, even though she is so very little when we got her just a week ago." Or should I say, a week ago. And yeah, my husband actually ended up almost beating everything. If you could beat, I guess you can't beat a planet. I mean, I would be a little worried. Wouldn't you be worried if like there was some god watching over your planet and they kind of like did everything they wanted and they're like, yeah, all right, I guess I finished the game. I'll start a new one. Like, I'd be a little worried. However, it turns out completing many adventures across many of the planets in these galaxies that we are tending to is one of the responsibilities that we have as a god here in Reus 2, so that we can add more and more and more to our collections for the different biomes we can have, which include not just the desert, not just the forest, not just the ocean, but 3 other biomes that we can actually unlock with all of these different animals, plants, minerals waiting for us on the other side, as well as many tricky little nuances in things like using micros and milestones and having different eras and different spirits and different people who help to run the different villages, all coming together to make something where, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Long story short, my beloved husband Chips became a really powerful god in Reus 2, showed me the ropes, and we're about to have an amazing time. If you thought that our temples full of sand cats and palace cats were enough to keep us occupied, my friends, we're literally just getting started. So let's do this. And unfortunately, it does turn out that I, as a new little baby Seri goddess, didn't know that yes, I do indeed need to practice on leveling up my goddess powers, which means that, actually, you're supposed to make sure that you can accomplish all of the different things in the different ages that you take care of. And considering the fact that, we need to get the merchant to 40 prosperity. Prosperity, mind you, being the combination of all of the population, the science, the wealth that our people can experience as we help them to prosper. Going from 25 to 40 in basically the summoning of one element when we have barely begun to tap into things like being able to use very special microbiomes that we can infuse within all of the different elements that scatter about our planet. Things like being able to actually literally do amazing things in the planet shop, which I'm just considering like our god powers, like summoning giant rifts that expand the planet, being able to use very special landmarks, being able to go ahead and encourage one of our different villages to expand, being able to go ahead and add in even more cities and villages to make us even more powerful. Yeah, there's a lot of that. And we kind of haven't made that happen. And to do that, we need to actually prove ourselves by completing these ages, these challenges, and unfortunately for Glitter Gold Harbor, unfortunately for Sand Cat Oasis, unfortunately for Pengleo Cat Vistas, that also means completing the planet. So This is going to be a little interesting, but we are going to go ahead and have to say goodbye for now. We can come back later to this planet as we start a new one in just a moment here, and it will all make sense. I know that kind of upset me at first because I was like, but I love these guys. However, it is going to make a lot of sense very soon. As soon as wow, I really used up everything over here. Okay. As soon as I show you guys how everything is about to get even more awesome. So, let us go ahead and say goodbye to Gold Glitter Harbor, who wants their prosperity, and they also want their wealth by giving them something to think about. Like, for instance, the suckerfish, who is an expansive critter, an herbivore, who is a fish. And they also give +10 for each distinctive predator in the biome, as well as a little bit of gold. Don't worry about the numbers. They're numbers. Let's actually put this tuna down. Adding in any of the plants, the animals, or the minerals that are various elemental, like, gods, basically, or giants, can go ahead and put in, cost us in the power of eons. And we only have enough to add in one last creation onto this planet. So I summon the tuna! Oh, that's really cute. And they give you a ton of food. So, tuna of food? Oh, we actually have one more move after that. Whoops. I mean, we actually still have a smidgen of our god powers left. Didn't realize that was going to happen. But look at that. Now at least Gold Glitter Harbor can have like a little bit more to sort of like celebrate the finale of our moments with them at the moment. And meanwhile, the goddess village wishes to have more wealth than the merchant. And let's see, goddess village. They also happen to have the cat temple. So they have a maxed out cat temple. It's as big as it's going to be. And I kind of want to remember this very first planet forever somehow. But I feel like we should only like really add some sort of crossover reference to these planets if we manage to get like 3 stars on the different ages. And by that I mean building a sandcat temple, for instance, in our zoo crafting realm so that we can have like a permanent little snapshot memory of our experience here that we could make a whole bunch of sandcats around. I think that'd be amazing. However, I think we have to earn it. Maybe if we come back one day, we can earn it. But for now, in fact, maybe, you know what? We'll just rename all of the village. We'll do the whole same setup, and we'll just do it again because now maybe I had some goddess training and I know what I'm doing. All right, so let's see. We have lapis lazuli. We have the sand cats. We have the adorable little jerobas. We have got the sagebrush and the red stones. So I would say that a little bit of topaz sprinkled in with the lapis lazuli is a great way to finish things off. Look at that. Oh, I do love the glitter of gold. It's so interesting. I thought I would really care more about feeding my people, but I guess I really like shiny things too. And so I found myself back here again. But the goddess village is slowly becoming more wealthy. How wealthy is the merchant town? 14? Oh man, I don't think we're gonna make it. Oh, no, we're not gonna make it. Okay, so the goddess village is not going to be able to unlock a new draft, which would allow us to unlock, but well, actually, technically it would allow us to unlock some new of the biotica, the different elemental, like animals, plants, or creatures we could add in. Well, or animals, plants, or minerals we could add in. But for now, the time has come to conclude this planet and conclude our very first steps into what is not only a memory of one of my all-time favorite experiences that we have ever done in the pixel biology community with the original Reus, but also, this is awesome. I am loving this. I think you guys are going to love it too as we begin the next parts of our journey. Also, if you can hear Beaver the guinea pig squeaking right now, he's just being quite cute. Wow, look at the little pyramid! There you go, guys. Now that we have completed our first planet, the prosperity rains down upon our head. The different biomes also give us more prosperity. The prosperity becomes your final score, which of course, because that's not immersive enough for my sake, I'm going to say ends up becoming some of our god powers. And yes, that matters. It matters Also, because it helps us to unlock some of these new rewards. Behold, we are creating life itself. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so it looks like we have a desert one, which this is going to be potentially new animal, plant, or mineral. Ostrich! Oh, I haven't even... Ah, that's so cool! Oh my gosh. So we have ostriches. They are a large bird that we do need to have a somewhat healthy, diverse biome to add them into. And they give you more food and a pinch more gold for each empty spot around them. That might sound kind of confusing, because after all, don't you want to make sure that your planet is rich in diversity? Well, lucky us. There's also these sub-biotica that we are able to now start putting down as we gain more and more power from completing more and more of the eons and ages of our planets to success. And some of those complement each other, like for instance, the mud crack mineral. The whole mud crack. Whoop-de-doo. But it actually has a great boost in science and biodiversity if it is all by itself out in the middle of nowhere. However, it counts as barren. It counts as an empty slot. So if we have the ostrich next to the mud crack, then the ostrich thinks the mud crack is an empty area. And that means it will gain more food and a little bit of gold from its extra bonus boost, even if there actually happens to be a giant mud crack in the ground right next to it. Haha. That is how you start figuring out the puzzle pieces of being a god and building up your ecosystems, you see. And there's also the sand grouse, which I really have not spent enough time learning about. So I until this very moment, thought it was a sage grouse. Maybe I'm biased. Look, my real name is Sage, so I love sage grouse. I really want to see him one day in person. But they are another bird, a critter, little herbivore. Doesn't need a lot of biodiversity, but just a pinch added on in. Provides quite a bit of food, and it also counts as being on an empty slot. So the ostrich could be right next to both of these two, and it would be like, I've got all the running space I need. And that would give it plus 20 food, plus 10 gold. So that's kind of how these things work. Don't worry, we're not going to go over all of the little numbery things, but I wanted to show you guys that's how you start paying attention to what the different kind of boosts are for each of the different sort of ecosystem additions being able to complement one another and build up and build up and build up their strength. And just wait till we get to the microbiomes, because that's going to be fun too. Next up, yes! Pearls, if they happen to be up on the coast in the shallow waters, give you 80 gold. Let's just say that those beautiful gemstones have quite a lot of potential. However, they also need quite a bit of biodiversity because they have to have a waterway that already has 3 biodiversity in it before you can add in pearls, which is why you can't just place down nothing but pearls and then become exceptionally wealthy. There's also jasper, which likes being next to animals, and a sea crate, which is a toxic predator of the reef that does like being next to other animals too. Imagine that, it likes to eat. All right, so because we completed the monument age to 2 stars, that's why we were able to go ahead and we were able to unlock a couple of the rewards. And don't worry, as our god powers grow, we will be able to take on more than 1 different age and more challenges that will allow us to actually go ahead, gain more power. The swamp giant! Yes! Welcome! Welcome, beautiful swamp giant! And now we can have 2 eras on our planets because our powers have become strong enough, and we can even upgrade the different places of our planet to support even more complex types of wildlife or plants or more complex minerals, as you guys will see. And now we can do 2 different types of eras, so 1 era and then a second one on the same planet. We managed to go ahead and we accomplished, so that means we go from ancient era to medieval era. And there are different things you can do, different eras, with more rumored to be in the works, that happen, different like ages that happen within each era. So right now we have the ability to do some of the different ages in the ancient era. And we're going to start seeing what the medieval era has for us. And then to be able to start doing the different ages, we need to remember that we need to kind of keep in mind as we're building in the early days of our planet, we're building our way up towards meeting the requirements to unlock a new type of age. Because if we don't have, for instance, at least 4 gold in a city when it's time for the ancient era to begin, then we will not be able to do the monument age. And if that happens, it's not the end of the world, because then you will just default to the calm era. There's no requirements, and it's kind of nebulous on what the rewards might be compared to, you know, completing the monument, which will allow you to go ahead and give gold on the planet. Like, it really starts building up fast. So that may have all been kind of majorly confusing, but don't worry. It doesn't have to be. And don't worry, it's not going to be about the numbers. Now, it's going to be all about the fun. So, Sandcat Oasis, hang in there! Glitter Gold Harbor! Palicats Vistas, we're coming for you! Except this time we might not have Palicats Vistas. And once again, we could have these different spirits who would end up helping us to guide the planet. Each spirit takes care of a different one of the cities. And right now we can pick from the Sage to start with, or we could pick from the Inventor to start with, or we could go ahead and pick from the Goddess to start with. Each one of these different spirits also having different boosts and also having different things that they consider to be very important for being able to have a healthy, vibrant, thriving city under their watch. And because I like chaos, we're going to go ahead and have random. These are basically like my mini gods who work for me, and they watch over the little villages and make sure that they prosper. I'm just here to kind of admire all of the adorable little animals and the plants, mind you. And also the shiny gemstones, it turns out. So we're gonna go and we're going to see which one of those spirits wants to show up first. And now we can have the Swamp Giant! The Swamp Giant, known by humans as Renegald. I've never seen, or like, yeah, Renegald? Regnald? Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. I didn't know that. Slimy behemoth that controls plant life and more. And Renegald, the Swamp Giant, can actually create rainforests, which provide a lot of science. It also focuses quite a bit on trees and plants, and they like to have a lot of biodiversity. They like to have a lot of trees, and the Swamp Giant can actually create creeks as their special landmark, which we will talk more about later, so don't worry about that right now. Instead, we're also going to have our Ocean Giant and our Rock Giant step in to be able to provide more things. I know we said we were going to have the Forest Giant, like, to just do the same planet, but I changed my mind because I love the rainforest. Don't worry, Forest! We'll give you something soon! But alright, so we're going to carry on practicing our powers, and we're going to have the final era go all the way to medieval era, which we just unlocked. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to have a good time with just diving on in, because I know what to do now. Oh, is that, I think it's the Sage. Yeah, we got more people that need some clothes here, huh? Okie dokie dokie. All right, so like I mentioned, this would be considered the prologue, and we have 30 Eon powers before we need to worry about what path to choose for the next era. Bearing in mind, we need to have a minimum amount of the different population, technology, wealth to unlock the different things. We'll worry about that later. Right now, the Sage needs somewhere to go. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this into another one of like the forest. Ooh, I have a good idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Enough yammering, enough explaining. We'll learn to do my seeing, I suppose. Look at all the plants. Listen to the cacophony of insects that might keep me up at night until I get used to it. Or maybe, is that like the original white noise, I guess? Huh. All right. And then let's go ahead, and I'm also going to have our Ocean Giant add in a little bit of ocean, just to make sure we have a shoreline to help provide a few options. Let's get the Sage kind of settled on in. Make sure that he gets kind of comfy. And then we're actually going to give the Sage and the village... Oh, cute! They decided to go for a harbor. harbor. Ooh, and they have a bonus slot. So basically this area, this land that we might imbue with the different types of plants, minerals, or animals, the biotica of the planets, this would be a spot that actually gets plus 50% boost to science. That's huge. That's amazing. Basically, these guys are pretty smart, even though their main goal and concern is providing enough food for the people to be able to raise population in their village. That sounds just lovely. My, I wonder who this person should be. Who should be in charge of this lovely little village? Can I not? What? Sir, I would like to... Hello? Hey now? Hey now? There it is! I was like, hey, I get to rename this, okay? But this is actually going to be, Ginger. This is going to be Ginger Fury, or Ginger Fury Jungles? Or the Gingered, how about Ginger Jungle, Ginger Fury Jungles. Okay, Ginger Fury is basically one of our amazing patrons, and I'm trying to come up with a fun way for you, Ginger Fury, to be responsible for taking care of these people. But like, I mean, does he look like an angry sage? You know what? You can decide that you've got to do what you got to do to get food for your people. So how about Ginger Fury, Berry, Ginger Fury, Blossom Harbor? Okay, that was, you could see my conflicted desire to have all of this cuteness and plants just absolutely crashed with like the idea of Fury, but that's okay. Anyway, enough silliness, and thank you very much to Ginger Fury for being one of the amazing people who have helped so much as I've ridden out the last couple wild years of life and am finally starting to find my footing again. And hopefully we'll be able to create beautiful, amazing worlds with all of you too. And now I kind of have teared up. So you know what? Maybe Ginger Fury Blossoms just make you kind of tear up. Guinea pigs! Oh my gosh. So there are guinea pigs. They provide a little bit of food. But you know what? I love them. I love them. I'm gonna have to think about that. Is there a lot of food? So let's see. Okay, because I love the guinea pigs, and because actually, if you notice, Ginger Fury Harbor does not have, well, you know, so should it be a harbor? Yes, don't mess with it anymore, Seri, stop poking it. This isn't a sim, you can't spend 5 months trying to name it. In any case, Ginger Fury does not happen to have claimed the jungle. They kind of looked at this barren moon-esque wasteland and said, yeah, let's go this way instead. So even if we put down anything over here, they would have to expand and be interested and have the resources to expand before they would go ahead and actually get any of the benefit from having those resources. Since they haven't done that, and since they want to focus on food with an emphasis on gaining extra science and food from mystery that happens to be within their borders, let's go ahead and we're gonna come over here and let me think about how we want to do this. Let's put some kelp down. And the kelp actually will provide a lot of great food for them right offshore. Oh, look, the sage is hanging out over by the ocean. I didn't know he did that. And as we add in the kelp, because it happens to be the only one of its kind here in the blue sea, that's adorable. Then what happens is that it adds biodiversity. If I went ahead and I tried to add in more kelp, I could, but it would decrease the biodiversity a little bit because it would be the same type of plant. We want to make sure to have a broad range of different types of plants, animals, and minerals, because the more you add of the same type, the lower you make the biodiversity. The lower you make the biodiversity, the less you can do really interesting and useful things, like when we open up a draft of a beautiful rainforest, for instance. Get bananas! Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool! Bananas! Look how much food you get from that! Plus 20 for little adorable delicious foods. Probably not apples since it's a banana tree. For each adjacent plant. That's powerful. Why is that so easy to get so much food? because you also need to have a biodiversity of at least 3 in your jungle before you can add it on in. In order to do that, you need to make sure that you aren't repeating too many of the same plants or animals or minerals to try to build off those, because every time you duplicate and have the same copy in a biome, then you lower your biodiversity. Very important to add lots of awesomeness, in other words. And if we unlock the banana, we also unlock that chicken, who provides quite a bit of food if you have more biodiversity, and the taro root, which I also love. The other thing is an amazing tree called the Gumbo Limbo, which is not only medicinal, but it does provide a lot of science. And it could unlock the parakeet. And you may note the parakeet happens to be a bird of the savannah. We have not yet met a giant that can help us create savannas. So we're going to gently shimmy back over to the bananas and work with them instead. There we go. All right, so if we wanted to put the bananas down... Oh! Hey, Ginger Fury, you want to go ahead and do something fancy here, huh? So what the inspirations do with each village is it provides a build or a boost of some kind for each different age that will allow that village leader, that village spirit, to gain potentially ginormous boost to what they have in their land and within their borders, based off of if you meet the criteria for their inspirations or not. And you can pick from them. Sometimes their inspirations go into the next age, but most of the time at the end of the age, they're no longer active and you will have a new inspiration for every age. So with that in mind, do we want to do the herder's hut to have lots of different herbivores, and that would give us more food, fruit picker, more food in this village for each fruit within the borders, a farm for undergrowth biotica within the borders, or the ocean shrine, where we get more mystery if there are 3 to 4 distinct ocean bioticum within the borders. We're gonna go with the ocean shrine because we don't have a lot of the biotica, a lot of the plants that would fit the undergrowth tag just yet. And we'll discover more of that in the future. Also, we're kind of already spreading into the ocean, and I kind of love the idea. Whee! Look at that! Oh, look, the shrine has the little water god on it, the little ocean god. And everybody's talking about all the yummy kelp they get to eat in Ancient Place Jungle. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, sweet. Now they're talking about our little ocean god. That's adorable. And we can also add in a new nomad to come and move in to the planet, which is not very completed yet. So kind of want to give that a little thought. Since we unlocked another jungle, I'm kind of thinking let's continue on with that theme. Maybe we'll expand the ocean just a touch over here, just to make sure we have a little bit of personal space, if possible. Thank you very much, Ocean Giant. Schmack. And then let's actually expand more, more jungle over here. And then we shall see who the new nomad, who the new spirit shall be, who are ready to come and settle on our planet. Ooh, and we had a deep enough area that the ocean giant actually made a deep ocean. So the shallow seas are here, and the deep ocean, because this ocean, the blue sea, is large enough, it had enough space to have a little deep ocean in the middle, which is awesome! And here is lush stretch jungle, which shall now become either the home of the botanist spirit or the goddess spirit. And the botanist loves plants, the weirder the better, looks to gain science and food from them. Or the goddess, who we met last time in Sandcat Oasis, who particularly loves gold. Well, let's see. The inspired gives us plus food and science for all the mystery that happens to be within the borders. I think we're gonna go with the botanist for now. We're kind of working on jungle stuff, right? And let's see how that works out once, you know, the botanist gets to move in. I love the flowers in his hair. Oh, it does feel good to actually know what I'm doing, because now I'm really excited. We're gonna be able to tell some really fun, exciting adventures, and it's going to be so fun. I promise you, you guys. But for now, I shall let this new people settle upon the land, and don't worry, as time goes on, I won't be quite explaining everything in as much detail. I apparently am one of those goddesses that learns through teaching. Come on, little guys, you can make it. Oh, look at their little boat with their little leaf on it. I love that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I really need to get you guys some clothes or sunscreen or something, though. That can't be a comfortable boat ride.